Hello everybody, it is Thursday and that means it is time for some more Overwatch here in the NECC Legends Division. We are starting off hot here tonight, SNHU Sapphire versus the Fisher Freaks. It's going to be a good one. We saw Fisher in Smash Brothers on Tuesday. We get to see yet more of them tonight. It's going to be a banger. SNHU seeking their first dub, Fisher, this is going to be their first game of the season so far.
This is Fisher's first game of the season here?
Yeah, currently 0-0 in the standings.
Okay, so what's SNHU at right now?
0-2, searching for that first win.
Okay.
It's a very competitive division right now, so I know they're really, really hungry for that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the sooner they can clutch that out, the better, because that'll set them up way better long term to try and get into the playoff run. But as we are just about ready to get into game here, I think it's worth mentioning we got a big patch that has just come out on Tuesday. Currently, personally, we are working through some technical issues right now, but yeah, this is going to be a big meta switches, I feel like.
Yeah, basically, for those who didn't get it, a lot of HPs were buffed around 50, and projectiles sizes have been also increased.
Kresnik immediately goes down at the hands of Unread. Now Fisher already starting to break through onto this point. Have to be careful though. You do have Ultimate Weapon in the background, but with Sundreon catching Helios and Ultimate Weapon going down, Fisher just steamrolls through this point. I barely even got to talking before the fights even ended.
I was going to say, I was just talking about the HP buff, and then boom, next thing you know, they take control of that area here, but it looks like they're still running this Sigma comp here, and it doesn't look like a lot of difference has changed, other than on Fisher Freaks, it's going to be Ashe and Echo, which is a little bit different than what SNHU is playing.
Yeah, and I think at this point, that might come down to comfort picks, but Crazy Cat making sure that they're not feeling comfortable. Sloth goes down immediately. That's a lot of DPS down, and the Immortality Field goes too. Sundreon in a ton of danger, dropping to about 2 bars, ends up falling. And now I think SNHU gonna flip this point as quickly as they lost it. With just Skier going down, yeah, they flip it immediately.
Just like that. I mean, you can't let Fisher or any of the enemy team get more than 28% here. If SNHU is able to hold onto it strongly here, Ultimate Web does have his ultimate prime and ready, and Helios is at 45% for his, but Sendrillon has 60 on his, so he's got the upper hand up on that now.
Yeah, we can see Ultimate Web just kind of prowling in the back line, waiting for that opportunity, goes in deep, doesn't catch anything, but is probably going to be able to get out of here scot-free here. It is able to do so, and that's going to be a lot of pressure, slowing down Fisher, and Kresnik getting a big shot onto Skier is going to slow them down even further. SNHU likely going to continue to push this down. They send the Amplification Matrix through. That is going to be a lot of damage. Ultimate Web just guarding on point, pushing onto Love, making sure that nobody's going to do anything cheeky, get set up on point. Just holding the fort down here. Does die for it, though. The Gravitic Flux does come through. Unread does fall, which is tragic. A huge accretion onto Love. No Love after Valentine's Day here. And the rest of SNHU going to retreat back onto point as the Bob comes through. But really, I don't know if it's going to be enough to flip this point for Fisher. They've been extending this fight out for so long, but they haven't really found much.
Yeah, I mean, we see the Transcendence and the Gravitic Flux come out from Fisher here, dealing a lot of damage.
And the Pulse Bomb. Helios gets hit with 2 ults, but that's a huge stick. Forces the Immortality Field. Both healers low on the side of Fisher with the Bob on point. You cannot aggress here. Undead and Love getting some nice shots, but everybody else is falling. That Amplification Matrix isn't going to do much if you can't peek it. The numbers aren't there for Fisher. Just Sloth on the Tracer here. Finally, the reinforcements are arriving, but as are the reinforcements for SNHU. There's no real definitive picks coming through from either side, but SNHU at 98. Something needs to happen right now for Fisher. They do get the touch, and that's 2 big kills. Crazy Cat and Kresnik Sundreon swapping over to the Doomfist to get onto the point here. You have Ultimate Web still in the back line, wreaking havoc, but finally, Fisher starting to pull ahead in this team fight.
Yeah, it looks like it's just Helios on point right now with most of the team just going away. We see that rock from them, and he just gets stunned out of there. And at that point, it's just, there's nothing much you can really do. You have no healers. Siren's dead. Crazy Cat's just coming away from spawn there. So SNHU, they have this time to reset, but now with this point at 99%, they only got to flip it once and wait for the OT. We see Sendrillon in a pretty, pretty interesting spot there. You know, you can get a lot of damage, especially with that rocket punch dealing even more damage than before now. And Ultimate Web, like you said, getting a lot of damage in the backline onto the healer.
That Suzu is gone, and now Ultimate Web has free reign in this backline. Both supports just trying to stay alive right now, not able to help out their team, but might not need to. Love and Sloth tearing through the rest of SNHU. Ultimate Web all by his lonesome does catch Skier, but that is a team kill for Fisher.
Oh my, literally, Love and Sloth just killed everyone on SNHU. Oh my god, I can't talk. SNHU. Just the amount of, because of the projectiles, it's so much easier to hit headshots now. And we see Unread here looking to aim the amplification matrix, but
already, oh my
he
goodness.
wasted.
And somehow, someway, Ultimate Web survives too. Kresnik looking to get it set up here. Everybody is falling for Fisher College. I believe it's just Skier and Sloth. Sloth does get Kresnik, but really the numbers aren't there. You need more than that. And with Sloth going down, that's going to be your main touch out of the way. The Suzu gone. You're low on resources. Just have that Doomfist ultimate, but if you're not able to make it back in time, you can't even use it. Is there. Might be able to make something happen with it. But again, no healing. The ultimate is forced, but a big pulse bomb. Able to block through it, survive. Unread gets 2. Love coming back on the Sombra gets another. Have to kill Unread here. Very, very low. Sloth, though, tearing through the rest of SNHU. The numbers not in SNHU's favor. The Suzu, like you said, does come through. Everybody is back. 95% and counting for Fisher College here. Someone has to get the point, but Crazy Cat gets hacked. Not able to make it. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Just able to save that point down to the wire. We did not see an overtime, but we saw a massive comeback from Fisher College. They're going from 28% and bringing it back home for the first round here is, I mean, that was insane.
If that round is indicative of the rest of this set, we are going to be in for a heck of a night.
Yeah.
That went 99-99 immediately, round 1. And that fight could have swung either way. It just ended up being Unread, really getting 2 picks in that mid fight.
Yeah, and Love and Sloth absolutely just tearing up SNHU. And we're just, I believe we're going to see similar comps here. It doesn't look like there's not much to change. Sloth maybe going to be switching over to the Hanzo instead of the scene before Tracer here. And SNHU just sticking with what they got. I mean, they got work with what they got. Unread still on that Lucio Skier on the Kiriko, and the rest of the agents are on their normal heroes.
Yeah, I think Sundreon is going to be in a bit of a tough position, especially because you do have that Tracer that's going to be harassing your back line. There it is. Sundreon goes down. Can't stay alive when everybody's looking at you, and the rest of Fisher is going to crumble. That Accretion hits from a long range downtown Helios. Just incredible rock.
Absolutely. I mean that was flying. That was like literally down the hallway. It was actually insane here. Ultimate Web having the Tracer battle of his life right now with Sloth as well. And I mean, like, this just picks at this point. SNHU is going to be capping for a long time, but Helios, oh my god.
That was a huge boop. Huge boop. Forces, I believe, forces the Immortality field out. Does not get caught. Crazy Cat also going down. Love gets another headshot onto Kresnik. I mean, it's really just Ultimate Web has to find a way out of here. Might try to save those Siren, but too little too late. The resources committed, but not enough. But an overcommit from Skier results in their death. I think SNHU might just be able to salvage something from the ashes here. They might continue to push this. They seem intent to do so anyway.
Yeah,
already enforcing a presence on the point here.
I was going to say, their main healer is dead there. Skier is gone, like just like that. This is now the time to push up. Lucio cannot provide as much healing as Kiriko can.
No, but you have to make sure Helios stays alive here. That beat is going to make it very, very difficult to stay up here. Crazy Cat going down, flips the tables once again. If Sundreon goes down, they might be able to once again find something from the ashes, but again, just this support line from Fisher is popping off right now.
Unread just got 3 kills, and 2 of those kills are with his boops. That's just...
Come on.
Insane.
Come on.
Insane. I believe his damage did get buffed up from 25 to 35, and you are able to go in a straight direction for 4 seconds instead of 3 seconds, which is insane.
Oh my goodness, Skier again getting nuked early here. The pulse bomb sent out but doesn't catch anything. There's a recall gone. Oh, Siren gets a nice headshot onto Sloth. The Transcendence is going to try and counter this Bob being sent out. Love, the Bob goes down, and again, the numbers really not in Fisher's favor. SNHU looks like they're going to be able to make something big happen here, but not if his flux is huge. Does get Helios and Crazy Cat, but Sundrion falling to 29, going to get meleeed. In the meantime, Skier is back. Love gets another big headshot onto Ultima Web.
Oh my goodness. It's crazy how, like, I genuinely think this is just because of the projectile size increase. Kiriko's kunai is 0.25 meters instead of the previous 0.15. That's almost double the size of her kunai.
Yes, but SNHU is able to get a presence on the point here. They do have the bomb in the back pocket, but that Kitsune rush is going to make it very difficult to operate on point here. The bomb is going to be there. Maybe force Love back a little bit, but getting chunked down incredibly quickly. Not quickly enough, though, as Sloth does fall. That's a big accretion
big rock
onto Sundrion. And I believe, unless something drastic happens right now, SNHU will have finally flipped this point definitively.
Yeah, it looks like they were finally able to push them back just far enough here, especially, I believe, with just Fisher dumping some ultimates there, maybe thinking they secured the round. SNHU was able to just use their resources as they could and push them back. For SNHU, we do see the window from KZ Cat and the pulse bomb, and Sloth actually at the top here, maybe trying to make a move right onto Crazy Cat as we speak.
Ultima Web goes down at the hands of Skier, and that's an ultimate out of the way. You have that beat coming through from Unred as well, right on cue. Kresnik going down means there's no DPS left. Unred does fall, but so does Crazy Cat. That's not an ideal trade at this point of the game. Skier deciding to take things into their own hands. It's just Ultima Web able to make it back to the point, sends out the pulse bomb, but doesn't catch anybody. Skier waiting on the recall position, and the point is flipped once again. I don't think there's going to be anyone to get there. Kresnik running as fast as he possibly can, but no, Fisher College going to take Lijiang Tower here.
That is crazy. That was an intense control map, if I do say so myself. I mean, it was just fast. Yeah, let's see this play again.
Yeah, come on. I need to see this. I was wondering when it happened, how this happened, but this was a great engage with the beat there and just staying alive, forcing everybody into that corridor. Does he get one more? No.
No, I think that was it. Maybe it was cut off at the end there, but I think he gets 3 kills in that area with the assist from Sloth in that same
That
time.
sounds right.
I mean, that's crazy. Like you think more HP would mean like you survive longer, but it just feels like the supports and DPS are just doing way more than before now.
I mean, it's just such a different game at these high levels.
Yeah.
I think at lower levels, we're going to see the time to kill increase a little bit, even with the projectile size increases. But when you have these players that are incredibly mechanically skilled and with so much cohesion, they're just going to be executing even better than they were previously. I think that is exactly what we saw in that last matchup from both sides. But Fisher does end up taking the point, taking the map.
Do we know our other maps by chance? What we're gonna be up against, or
I don't know if we do just yet, but I believe we do have our gorgeous standing graphic that we can go into here now that we have taken a moment just to breathe for a brief second.
It felt like they were just rushing at each other. It didn't even feel like they were like taking a lot of pauses. Maybe there was like 2 or 3 pauses at all.
No,
and then it was just like constant fighting the entire time.
It was so scrappy. Every single team fight felt like nobody wanted to give up anything at all.
Yeah.
Maybe that is just, these players, these two schools, we have a bit of a rivalry, so maybe it's a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe it's the game changing a little bit. I personally do not know. I have not been scrimming with these players, so I don't know all the insider strats, but this is definitely a very different looking game from 2 weeks ago, for instance.
100%. I mean, I don't believe I was here last week, but the week before that, the first game, I mean, it's a lot different from what we saw. I mean, it looks like these games they're like competing for like finals. That's how that's how big it is. That's how big it seems, anyways. But
as you asked for previously, I do believe we do have our map overview ready to go.
Let's see what we got. Shambali. Have we seen Shambali?
If we have, it's been a long time.
I don't think so. I really want to know whose pick this was here.
I believe it was SNHU's.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I always thought we were the classic Kings Row, but I guess it could have been banned.
No, well, Kings Row was usually picked last semester. It is generally loser picks map and then winner picks side. So I would expect, in my experience, the winning team tends to pick defense because it is faster if you are dominant on defense.
Okay.
Puts you in a bit of a better position.
Yeah.
But that's mainly for hybrid, but you do get some of that for escort. I want to see what they've been labbing out.
I do. I mean, Shambali. I haven't not seen a lot of Shambali.
I mean, I feel like Shambali is really going to favor that Sigma comp that they want to run, but I suppose we shall see as we get into game here.
Yeah, see what kind of stuff that we've got up here. We see SNHU running the same setup that they did beforehand here. A Siren on the Zenyatta. Crazy Cat sticking with that Bab. Kresnik on the Hanzo. Ultimate Web on Tracer. And Helios on Sigma. But for Fisher, we're seeing a lot of switches here. Syndralon is on Ramatra. I don't believe we've seen a lot of Ramatra since Sigma has been a big game changer normally. And the rest of the team is pretty much the same except for Sloth is on Mei.
Syndralon already is falling really low. Has to pop that shift just to keep himself alive more than anything. Not really able to aggress on it. I mean, I like this strategy, holding so close, because it forces SNHU to commit resources when they know that they're not going to be able to win this point in one fight. But with Ultimate Web catching love, that's going to be a lot of the poke that Fisher wants gone. But with Crazy Cat going down, I mean, you can lose numbers here if you're Fisher and still consider it a one battle, just because, again, you're bleeding time off the clock. You're forcing SNHU to just commit more and more and more just to touch the point.
Yeah, I mean, Syndralon finally fell there, and this is the time that SNHU can really cap on here. But before that, we saw him get 2 picks. So literally, he's just able to sit in the corner, kind of walk his way through, punch his way through, and get these picks.
Unread falls dangerously low. The Immortality Field is sent out. That might be the go button. The Nemesis form is popped, so Syndralon is able to survive. But Ultimate Web still in the back line, still threatening presence, as Skier has found out firsthand. Sloth falls love on 1 HP. What a rock onto Unread. Oh my goodness. Helios has been hitting you so far with a pinpoint accuracy. A long-range headshot from Kresnik onto Love is going to finish that fight off. I think SNHU might maybe be able to cap this, depending on if they're able to get an early pick here.
I think they're definitely going to be able to get a really close call here. It looks like most of Fisher is going to be stacked around this area. Sloth does have the Blizzard here. That is, I would be surprised if it was not popped to stop this fight right now.
Yeah, that's a great wall. Going to force no disengage possible here. Kresnik goes down at the hands of Unread. That's a big Blizzard in the back line. No Immortality Field left. Both supports frozen.
Ooh.
The Transcendence is there, but I don't know if it's quite quick enough. That's a huge beat, but the Flux is going to neutralize it quickly. But the back line getting shredded for SNHU. The priorities perfectly placed for Fisher here.
Yeah, it's SNHU really only having Ultimate Web there, just barely alive, trying to run away, save his own life here, but they're staggering him out.
Oh my goodness! They had every option covered!
And now SNHU has to wait even longer to push into this so they can have Ultimate Web to just absolutely destroy their backlines here. Helios, we're still seeing a little bit of poke between these guys. I wonder if we'll hit another rock onto Unread. So far, all of his good rocks has just been on Unread, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, bro's been protecting the president, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Sloth tries to engage with the wall, but ends up dying for it. Might have opened up an opportunity, but everybody's falling. 2 ultimates committed for Fisher here. They're not able to make much of it. Syndralon falls in the middle of Annihilation. You got Love in the back line here, putting up a fight, but I mean, I believe it is just Love left, taking the duel with Kresnik. Doesn't seem to be winning it. Oh, indeed he is not. The backup is there. Kresnik not going down. It's just about cleaning up the rest of the players on at this point here for SNHU. Of course, these are two very, very slippery characters, so they might be able to make something happen here, but woo, as I say it, Sloth
literally
catches a nice right click onto Ultimo Ep, I believe. And SNHU just has to back up a little bit here. Sloth already 97%, and Crazy Cat going down is going to end this fight. 17 seconds remaining. They can't afford to end this fight, even though SNHU is down 2 right now.
They need to absolutely just put pedal to the metal right now and they need to make life work. I mean, 7 seconds left. They need to touch point, and they need to push this car here. It doesn't look like anyone's going to make it onto car. Ultimo Ep is the closest one.
Has to be the one. What a stick! Unred is gone.
But the Blizzard
on point is huge, but you do have Helios coming back on the Doomfist. Have to wait for this wall to go down to engage safely. Love and Sundreon tearing through everybody just when it looked lost.
He's able to get a touch.
He's able to get a touch, but no one else is there just when it looked lost.
No.
Fisher College pulls another trick out of the hat, able to make it happen. Hold SNHU before they're even able to capture first point against all odds.
Yeah, it looks like literally they just lost the one fight at the beginning, and then they were just able to hold SNHU back so much. I mean, the May Blizzard, it's so good, especially with healers like Bap and Zenyatta, where the only movement is really for Zenyatta, Transcendence. And if you don't have that, you're
toast.
Yeah, literally. And Crazy Cat, you can jump high, but if you can still see the Blizzard, you're still going to get frozen. So with that lineup, having that May Blizzard just destroying the supports, I mean, then everyone just dies. And yes, for those who may have gotten a glimpse of the patch notes, yes, there is that quote-unquote passive healing role, but that's only if you don't take damage for 5 seconds. Do you know how long 5 seconds is in Overwatch days? That is like
in Overwatch time, 5 seconds is like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
straight up.
It's like you're never going to be able to get that same type of healing that your supports will be able to give you. And if your supports are gone, you have to hide for 5 seconds. And that's like without the enemy team touching you once, and only then will your HP slowly come back up.
Just to give some frame of reference here, respawning takes 10 seconds, and that 10 seconds feels excruciatingly long.
Yeah, I mean, it's like insane, and it's a long passive. It doesn't work out here, but Love with the Widow switch just like that, and I guess maybe just a little bit of a poke, scare him off. He's switching back to the Ashe here, and SNHU still running the same lineup here, and Fisher College also keeping the same lineup that they had before.
Yeah, I mean, SNHU has been running this very consistently for 2 semesters running now at this point. Why feel it's so early in the meta that you don't want to make any drastic changes.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Fisher feels no urgency to change anything at all. It's been working here perfectly. But you got to keep in mind, you do have Ultimo Ep in your back line. That is a very dangerous player. I think definitively the best player on our team. But Sundreon gets the opening pick on a Crazy Cat.
Oh,
that's disastrous.
Absolutely, you don't have that. You don't have the what's the
healing?
Immortality drone. Yeah, you don't have the disc to save you after that, and then they just kill 3 other members of SNHU just like that. Helios falling so fast, no left shift, able to give that double healing, nothing like that at all. And now Ultimo Ep, the only one with an ultimate on SNHU, has to try and probably save this. He's the one that's got the best opportunity, especially with the cart being pretty much halfway there, well over halfway to their destination.
Yeah, it's gotta be a big one. Ultimo Ep has been really good at finding his way into the back line here, but just it's so difficult to convert on these pulse bombs, just like we just saw. But Sloth having no trouble converting on their own picks. They're getting Kresnik early again. I mean, Skier pops the Immortality Field to try and take this duel with Ultimo Ep, and he wins it.
Oh, the beat comes out.
The beat comes out, and I think that might just spell the end for this map here. The numbers just aren't in favor of SNHU. There it is. Nobody's able to touch. Fisher Freaks win map 2 on Tribali Monastery.
Yeah, so far, I mean, Fisher has just been able to just push through. Another unread play of the game. I gotta see this. Again. I don't think I've ever seen a disappointed, unreal play of the game here.
That was a huge beat.
Absolutely.
That is why the play of the game came through. I was sitting there wondering how that got played.
Yeah, just one Blizzard kill and then just a little bit of hip hopping from Lucio there, but
that saved them the fight.
Oh yeah, 100%. The flux. I mean, the flux is like 35% of your health, right?
I believe it's 50, unless they changed it.
Is it 50 really?
Unless they changed it in the most recent patch, which They changed a lot. They very well could have.
They did change a lot. So.
But unless my knowledge is flawed, it is 50% of your max
50.
health.
That is
so
crazy.
Yeah, it is a very, very huge ult. Can absolutely flip disadvantageous fights. That is why supports try to save their ultimates for that gravitic flux. Because if you can nullify it, it's such a big, big ultimate to be able to nullify.
Absolutely. And there's one thing I wanted to mention. I'm surprised we're not seeing a lot of like Illari. I mean, that's it's a support that not everyone really plays. I'm not really too surprised. I just say that because I believe like her ultimate. What if we just used her as a third DPS almost?
I mean, it's a struggle right now because the meta is so early on.
Yeah.
It's still developing because so much has changed. You can't really get a good grasp on what's strong right now.
Okay, I guess that's fair. But I guess let's see what map we have up next here as we go on to this third round. We're gonna see Silvervasa on Flashpoint. Still waiting for the day where they make a third map here, and I believe that New Junk City. I know it's not Flashpoint, but no, not New Junk City, Junkertown. They changed the map layout of that.
Yes,
that is crazy. I wanna see that next week. Anyways, it's not relevant. I just wanted to mention that as we're still kind of debriefing the patch notes here. But Silvervasa, do you think you will be running the ball tracer comp?
I have, from seeing tier lists on the internet, which will never lie to me.
Yes, of course.
I have seen that people are starting to be pretty high on Wrecking Ball this patch. Maybe they pull it back out. This is something that they really haven't ran for a while, but when they did run it, it worked very consistently.
I wonder if they can just pull it out and make it as if like Fisher didn't expect it. Maybe Fisher's expecting for them to run the Sigma comp. If they pull this out last minute or even in the beginning of the match, I wonder if it'll just throw them off a little bit.
From personal experience.
Yeah, of course.
Those surprise plays are so impactful. You see it a lot more impactful towards the end of the season once you get into playoffs. A lot of teams, they'll have a strat that they're scrimming in secret, waiting to pull out for the perfect time.
Right.
On multiple occasions, I have been in games or have watched games where we have, for hours, scouted out everything that the other team wants to do meticulously. And we show up at game day, and they do none of what we accounted for.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that surprise play is really, really huge. But let's see if SNHU are going to commit to it as we get into game.
I mean, wow. It threw me off guard here. Helios switching to Orisa. To my knowledge, I'm told that Orisa is out of the meta.
I mean, I don't know at this point. That's what I've heard, but obviously Helios feeling confident enough in it to try. Might want to use that Javelin to get a big pick, but Osiren opens up the scoring. Unread and Love both down. And yeah, that is going to be a big push starting up for Helios. Gets this man to the corner. Sloth gets absolutely nuked. Everybody's gone. It's just a Moira remaining. And Skier dying late is really not great when this flashpoint ticks up so quickly.
Absolutely. I mean, you have 3 players on that just holding this down. This first fight went down super fast as well. I think they switched to Orisa just to counter that Ramatra there, but it looks like they're going to go back to the Sigma, and Sloth is going to be on Genji here with his new upgrade as well. He is able to swing faster with the Dragon Blade, so if he just gets a huge blade out, that could be absolutely devastating for SNHU.
Absolutely, but this flashpoint is already at 48% and counting. Ultimate just harassing the backline.
He's
here
already
for
at
Fisher.
97% charge.
Oh my goodness, that is obscene. Sloth falling incredibly low. Sundreon is going to be taking a lot of poke damage. The Immortality Field is gone, so that's the go button. There's a lot of damage. Sundreon falls. Love trying to stay alive here is not able to do so. Ultimate does get traded out. This is an even fight right now, but with this amplification matrix on point, they're going to have to play very, very careful, the Fisher Freaks, to not end up dying here. The dive is coming out onto Osiren, but you can't just do that anymore. I mean, he falls for it, but it's a trade out. You can't take trades at this point. Kresnik just putting in pot shots from long range. The point does get flipped, but I think SNHU is perfectly fine to take this slow right now.
Absolutely, and oh my god, he just ate that what is happening?
The beat and the immortality field comes through. The immortality field, maybe a bit of an overcommitment there, but not if Helios and Kresnik both die. Not going to get punished for it, at least.
That's insane. I was just going to mention how they switched to Sloth to counter the Zenyatta there, absolutely dealing a lot of damage. And Ultimate Web as well, still holding on, or use that Pulse Bomb, now getting more, and Sloth as well, building up that Dragon Blade. All he needs now is just, I mean, just that Lucio speed boost and just running in there.
Yeah, but SNHU is going to have that Transcendence, might save it for that, or for this Gravitic Flux here. Skier does pop the Amplification Matrix, and they don't use it for either. They have to keep everybody else alive, but Ultimate Web and Crazy Cat both go down. Sloth looking on the flank here, not even going to pop the blade here, just wants to clean up the rest of these picks. Oh my goodness, what a deflect kill onto Kresnik, some friendly fire. Gonna cause a team kill, and a first point capture here from Fisher College.
I feel like in this case right now, SNHU should maybe start to switch out some agents. Like Osiren is always gonna fall to Sloth there because of just the counter. And oh my, Ultimate Web is in the best hiding spot right now.
What a stick! But the forces the immortality field, which is a fine trade. I mean, honestly, Ultimate Web gets those pulse bombs before immortality field comes back up on cooldown, and it has opened up Love and Sundry on default. The Dragon Blade does come out swinging real fast, but still the main center of attention ends up dying for it. Just the supports trying to run away here. Ultimate Web really chasing them down on their tail, but I think just barely Fisher going to be able to retreat here.
Definitely. I mean, SNHU again going to get this point, but it's only for a certain amount of time where Fisher just is going to strike back and get these picks and then maybe start to flip it again. That's what happened at first. And we are going to see that beat from Unread come out as well.
Yeah, the aggressive beat can be super huge, but Skier does get traded out for Helios. I think sometimes you want to take those, especially when there's an amplification matrix blocking off this entire point. Sundryon falling oh so low, does commit the ultimate, dies for it. Kresnik does get traded out, but Love falling too is not making this an even valuable trade for Fisher College here. Sloth does get Crazy Cat, but Unread getting stuck in the corner. I mean, it's just Osiren and Ultimate, but I think at this point it's all you need.
Absolutely. I mean, but Sloth is just gonna keep zip zapping back and forth here, and it's just gonna be whether which Tracer dies first, and it just looks like SNHU with their team coming back, they have to retreat now. They can't really push up into this, but Sloth and Kresnik both trade each other out. That's one DPS down for both team members here.
That is an even trade, I think. The Amplification Matrix does get sent through, gonna get a little bit of damage here, and is going to set Skier up into a great spot, and is going to set Love up into a great spot. Two big headshots onto Osiren and Helios, but Ultimate gets two, but dies in the process. I thought he was going to be able to run that one back.
Yeah, unfortunately, just not able to get that win that fight there. SNHU again stuck at 99. We're seeing a lot of trends here. SNHU is like always right there at 99%, and then Fisher just comes back, just whacks them out of nowhere here. I mean, they have two ultimates primed up and ready. SNHU, they have close to the Flux and the Transcendence, but other than that, that's not really anything that they have.
Yeah, but I mean, this Transcendence could maybe be used aggressively here. Nobody for Fisher really has an ultimate that you'd want to save for it. You might want to save Helios, though. The Bob does come down, killing Helios, and Crazy Cat Love is just popping off right now.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I really do think you maybe want to commit the Transcendence there.
It's like a little bit of like, yes, you should, and yes, you shouldn't, because maybe you could, and like everyone just goes all out at once. But you got to remember as well, Love and Sloth has just been tearing apart SNHU. It's just been so much.
But Osiren going down here, 95%. The healers are traded here. It's just going to be on red. Helios using the Flux to get back to point here. Oh, doesn't get the point. Doesn't touch point. Flies a little too close to the sun. Burns out. And Fisher College is up 2-0. This is match point.
Yeah, this is literally match point. Game point, match point here. If Fisher is able to win this round, they will win this entire set. Thus, the game for versus SNHU here, and I'm just waiting for the time when they bring out the ball comp, and just to absolutely throw them off. I'm waiting for it.
I don't know. They seem pretty willing to just stick with this, but you can't let Ultimate Web fall here. You cannot lose this duel. Skier does take a little bit of poke damage in the meantime, but I mean, I feel like Fisher is just in such a strong position right now.
Definitely.
They have the ultimates. They have the resources. They do not, however, have the point control. They're going to have to commit something to flip it here. But they do have 4 ultimates in the bank as opposed to SNHU's 2. Kresnik does pop the overclock in the danger zone. The beat counter. I don't know what Helios just ate, but Helios ate something.
And love of Central Skier, Unread, pretty much every member of Fisher College right now is just tearing apart SNHU. Ultimate Whip trying to get back into safety here. SNHU, opposed from the 99%, is only able to get 31. Sloth is able to kill Ultimate Whip in the end. They're just delaying SNHU so further. And look at the supports. They're so pushed up right now, so forced out, just dealing all this poke damage and just pushing SNHU all the way back as much as they can. And it's the thing is, it's working out for them. That's the biggest issue for them.
Yeah, I think the only saving grace is you commit the immortality field if you are Fisher College, so you don't have that rocking up into this next fight. And with 2 going down, maybe you wish you didn't use it there, but Skier going down as well. Helios does die there, but I mean, with no healers left on the side of Fisher College, this flip is probably going to be pretty routine here. The Bob gets committed. I mean, it delays the flip, but I really don't know if that was a wise decision. Maybe I might be proven wrong here. Crazy Cat does go down to it. All the numbers just crumbling here for SNHU. This Bob clutching out, and Ultimate not able to get to point, ends up getting booped off. Fisher College ends off this game 3-0 to start their season.
I mean, for a first game for Fisher, they played extremely well.
Finally, Unread not getting the play of the game here.
Seeing Love as the Ash here, seeing what type of damage. I wonder if it's with the Bob or not, but what a headshot coming out. I feel like from Love, all we've been seeing is just headshots to headshots over and over again. We saw another one right there.
Oh
and
my.
just, it's insane how much, like, I don't even know the exact number, but Ash, if you're going to hit shots, I mean, like, you win. There's no other way to say that. You just sit back behind the shield, just poke with Sigma, have the DPS jump in, do their thing, have the supports follow them, and you can just chill. You can do whatever you want.
Madav, I don't know. I don't think you know how glad I am that I retired. If I had to be hit by one of those headshots, I'm uninstalling the game.
Oh, like, Love would make me absolutely delete the game. So good thing we're not playing Overwatch with her right now. But
yeah, some very interesting first looks here early on in season. What is it? Season 9? Season 10?
This is season 9.
It's I mean, I really cannot wait to see this meta develop even further. Really interesting. We saw Orisa.
Yeah, Orisa. I mean, out of all tanks. I mean, yes, she has no damage drop off, but it's basically useless because at such long ranges, it's so hard to hit your shots, especially with her gun being projectile and not hit scan. So
right, exactly. I really cannot wait to see what the rest of these teams pull out as they investigate these patch notes, as they start lapping out in scrims. It's just a whole new world of possibilities here, and quite frankly, I'm just glad to be a spectator for it.
Definitely. I mean, just playing the games would bring up a lot of more rage, I would say, than just watching it. So, I mean, other than that, do we have anything? Especially maybe this Saturday. Perchance.
This Saturday, perchance, we do have Granite State Grind. It's gonna be a big one. I checked our start.gg page, which you can find on our Twitter if you want to sign up beforehand. And there's gonna be 45 entrants, I believe.
45
already pre-signed up. And you know what? If you don't want to sign up online, that's okay. We take signups at the door.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. Go sign up. Do it now. Sign up for GSG. You want to play it. You're thinking about it. You know you want to.
And hey, if you don't want to play, no pressure. That's all good. Perfectly open to spectators. We will also be streaming it live here on Twitch. So don't miss it this Saturday. But if you're a fan of more traditional fighting games, say Street Fighter, perhaps Tekken,
Street Fighter,
or Tekken, both of them,
or Tekken.
The week after Granite State Grind, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I believe that's 24th, we have Never Hold Back. Going to be a dual Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 bracket, so that's going to be real hype.
Okay.
I've been seeing people be real high on Tekken 8, so I want to see what these players bring out here. That's going to be a great event. If you're not feeling Smash, but you want to play some fighting games,
The options are
Never
there.
Hold Back is the place to be. Other than that, tomorrow, Friday, we do have a very, very special East Coast Conference Overwatch match between two teams we know very dearly.
Which are the teams?
SNHU Overwatch Sapphire
Uh-huh.
and
And
SNHU Overwatch Pearl. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it.
You don't. I mean, that's the two rosters playing each other here. I mean,
It's going to be a wild
It can
night.
only get better. I mean, like you have to be here for it.
And Madav,
Yes.
if people want to find out more about us, want to follow the program, where should they go?
Well, the biggest place where you can get all of our information will be Twitter. Of course, you want to join our Discord, follow our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitch. Make sure you have the notifications on so you never miss a stream. I believe we have a TikTok, all social media platforms, MySpace, whatever it is. Look up SNHU Esports and follow us immediately.
We are getting yelled at that we do not have a MySpace, which is
Well,
a shame
check
because that platform
anyways.
is dead.
Just
But
check anyways.
just about every social media platform at SNHU Esports. Follow us, turn on notifications. You don't want to miss a thing. It has been a big semester so far already, and we have big things happening. So, with all that being said, I've been Matt. It's been Real Madav.
Yes, sir.
We shall see you next time. Have a great night.